been a long day, y'all. Sorry about that. I didn't get no footage of us pulling the motor out. We got too busy. Well, that ain't. Welcome back to Easy's Rebuilds. I'm Easy E. And y'all know what it is. It's part 2 of the Ford Expedition. We got Ro out here. We about to start getting things taken apart. Hopefully we can get the motor pulled today and go from there. So let's see how far we got. Like I said, we got Ro out here. Ro already got started while I was cutting the grass. Still got to take care of my other duties around the house. So Ro got the fan off. He got the fan shroud off. Now he got to remove the radiator lines, hoses. Then got to get up under the car and start removing the transmission bolts. We'll move the starter first. Yeah, we'll move the starter first so you can get to the torque converter bolts. I think the starter gonna be hard to get off. Then we gotta get the AC compressor, power steering pump, power steering reservoir out the way. We still don't know what we're gonna do about that line that's going into the firewall that's hooked up to his harness. Like I said yesterday in the other video, I would like to try to get this motor pulled up and get these wires and flop them over there. But there's a holder back there, you gotta unbolt to get the wire out. So we need to sling the wires over the side so we don't gotta cut that wire. But like I said, I leave it up to Roro if you wanna cut it and resplice it later. But that's it. We about to get started. I don't know what we're gonna start with. I think we're gonna start with getting this fan, his new radiator out the way, because you don't want to smash into it with a motor, because it's brand new, y'all. So we about to get to work. Deuces. So we out here still at it. This is the worst engine that I ever have to pull out. Couldn't get the AC compressor off. Too tight of a location. Rose said he think he was ground off the bolts, so I had to pull it off. When we get the motor out, there's some bolt outs, be easier to get to. So I have to discharge the system. He's just got to charge it back up if he wants some cold AC. Then for the power steering pump, he couldn't get that. He got off all the other bolts, but he couldn't get the one bolt because it's in another tough location.
And there's a sensor in the way.
And there's a sensor in the way. So we just have to undo the lines and drain up all the power steering fluid. The reservoir is empty. So the reservoir is no longer attached to the motor, but the pump is still, the lines to the pump is all disconnected. So we be pulling, I don't know why I put the reservoir up under there. So we've been pulling the reservoir, this reservoir with the whole assembly. So we've got to watch all those hoses that's down there. And trust me, are disconnected. It's right here, it's disconnected. We're trying not to do all that. We're trying to leave everything so we can plug and play, put everything back together, no matter how hard it would have been to do it. But right now we're working on the starter. He back there working on the starter, getting the starter off. Seemed like it was 4 bolts. He missed one. So hopefully get that off so we can get to the torque converter bolts. Then you gotta do the rest of the transmission bolts on the back and inside. I did the 2. That's up here. I can see all the oil marks from me going back and forth. Those was the doozy to get to. When I can get a ratchet on this side, it was a 13 millimeter. I can get a ratchet on this side, but on that side I couldn't get my ratchet, so I had to use an open end ratcheting one, and with my little mallet and tap it till it broke loose and get it off that way, because there ain't no way I can get a ratchet in there. Probably could have got it from the ground up under the car with a long extension and a swivel, but if I can access it up here, I do it up here. Still gotta get that oxygen sensor off over here. But
and the starter bolts are all 13 millimeter as well.
And as he said, the starter bolts are all 13 millimeter as well. You're gonna need some long extensions to get to those.
You know, especially if they're up against the manifold.
You heard
and in between the frame.
So he working on that. Like, we still at it. Don't worry, we haven't forgot about y'all. This is a very long process for us. And like I said, tomorrow I'll be going out to pick and pull a motor from other build. And that should be a quicker, well, it ain't gonna be as quick, but it's gonna be easier than this. So stay tuned, keep on watching. If this video ain't over with yet. Sorry about that. I didn't get no footage of us pulling the motor out. We got too busy. Well, I didn't set up the GoPro. But we started on this truck at 10 o'clock this morning. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And we finally got it on out. Like I said, the issue we had to, he said cut the wire, so we just ended up cutting that wire. Because I could have just swung the whole harness over, but he said forget it, just cut it. And we'll put it back on later, because he wanted to drop it back in with the whole harness and everything, well, with the harness back on it. And switched over to the other truck. And lucky we are doing this, because obviously I'm no good at changing valve cover gaskets when I can't see the back of the motor, because I did it on both sides of this truck. So lesson learned for me, when you can't see the back of the motor and you put in valve cover gaskets on to see if you can reach your hand around there and check, because on both sides the gasket came out. But at least it wasn't leaking no oil. That's not where it was leaking oil from. As you can see, ain't no oil leakage nowhere. The oil was leaking from that cover. But like I said, we got it on out. And what a mess. We ran into so many problems. So many problems. We forgot to put something up under the transmission when we pulled the motor, so the transmission dropped a little bit. But there's nothing broke on it. It'd be all right. But basically, we got some more ground wire over there. So basically, we got everything taken out. Found parts laying on the ground that we didn't know what to this car, like O-rings that came off during working on this car. We got all that stuff situated. We got everything out the way. It's not too hard. Only hard part about it was 2 more bolts on the transmission. We tried to pull it out, and we couldn't. It wouldn't detach. I'm like, wait a minute, it gotta be like 2 more bolts. And it was. I ain't about to jump in here to show y'all. I'll point at it with right here. Get y'all a little bit closer. Right here is a bolt. And you can't tell, you gotta do it blindly. And there's another one, exact same side at the top. And this one, you can't access it from anywhere close to it. I had to go to in the middle of the truck with a real long extension. And they know they all 13s. A real long extension from the back of the truck to that bolt to get it loose. And there it is right there. So you're gonna need one this long. I got a whole bunch of extensions put together with the 13. And I went to the back of the truck and fished it all the way through to the front. And it was able to straight shot from back there and got it off. And all the bolts and stuff on the ground, we're gonna clean that all up. We got everything everywhere. But I think that's gonna be a wrap for this video. Sorry I didn't show y'all of us pulling it out. Y'all know I already did that in time lapse. But this is my second motor I have ever pulled out of a car. This is Roro's first motor. And like I said, I gotta pull a motor for that one. There's nothing to it but to do it. Even though he got me soaking wet with coolant. Coolant ran out the motor all onto me. So I had to go change my pants real quick. Roro cleaning up all the mess up under there. Like I said, we had to discharge the AC unit the old-fashioned way, just by unplugging it, and it has some green dye in there for leak detector, because we could not. But we still gotta break this motor down. Maybe that'll be the next video of us breaking the motor down, getting everything off that we need to swap over to the other motor. Like we know we need the AC compressor, we need the power steering pump off of this one. I think you're gonna take the water pump off of this one. For sure, we're taking a wiring harness off of this one. And what else? I think you want to swap over the valve covers too.
The valve covers and the oil pan gasket.
Oh, and the oil pan gasket, or just the whole oil pan? Probably just the whole oil pan, because it's clean. So you're gonna swap over the whole oil pan.
They got a brand new gasket on it already.
They already got a brand new gasket on it already, because we replace that before we found out something was wrong with the timing chain. Oh, we gotta get the oil filter housing off and swap it over to that one, because that oil filter housing is different. It has like a adapter on it that goes to the oil filter. For the 80 Bauer motor, they put like an adapter so they got easier access to the filter. So this whole bracket comes off, so hopefully we can just swap that whole thing over from here to this one.
If not, we're mounting that somewhere else.
If not, we got to mount, try to figure out where they had that mounted in the 80 Bauer. If we have to go look for an 80 Bauer one and see where that's mounted at, or Google it. Like, cause I said they both the same blocks. This the 80 Bauer has a little bit more upgrades, like easier access to the oil filter, stuff like that. The plenum is made out of aluminum instead of plastic like his. But like I said, it's hot out here. And my GoPro is overheating, and we're done. Been a long day for us pulling a motor out of this. Yeah, I want to bet it's going to be harder putting another one in. I already bet y'all it's going to be a lot harder.
Might find some fruits to help.
So, because on this one, they pulled out the dowel pins. So we got to swap over the dowel pins for the transmission. So we got to pop these ones out of this one. With the alignment pins. Pop these out of that one and put it over in those. You get the torque converter bolts lined up. This is a lot. Well, I don't want to keep on talking. I don't even know if y'all can see me, because I can't even see me. But if y'all like this video, give me a thumbs up. If y'all didn't, give me a thumbs down. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Let us know how we did in this video, even though y'all didn't see a lot of footage, because we just got ahead of ourselves. And if you would, please share this video on your social media with your family, your friends, and your co-workers. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to this channel. And with all that, go copy out some merch at teespring.com. We also take Cash App donations, and we take donations of cars if y'all new to this channel. And with all that said, stay tuned and stay blessed, people. Peace.